morning. Morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, I wanted to put that out there as like a legitimate discussion point, and I'm open, hey Gigi, to everyone's opinion, like be honest. It's in our neighborhood. It's like there's a book van or truck or whatever that comes to our local farmers market that's on Wednesday nights, and next week they're hosting a book exchange for romance books, and basically you just like people sit at a table and you can talk to other romance readers and just exchange like a book you've read for a book they've read or whatever, like that is the concept. Hard to say hi and good morning and cut up in the book. Yay, hello. And they take your book. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like I wouldn't only bring my book because that feels like whatever, but if I brought like a couple of books and one of them was mine and I was honest with the other people and was like, hey, I wrote this one if you're interested, you know. Hey, what's wrong? Bless you. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that feels like weird? Would you be like weirded out if an author did that? Or since it's like our neighborhood, you'd just be like, oh, she lives here, like whatever. I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the matter? If you have any thoughts. I would love other times to be able to get more info. Yeah, and like, look, no one has to trade with you. You know what I mean? Like, there's no like, it's not like just because I bring it, someone has to take it. You get to like sit down with people and talk to them or whatever. Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure that people wouldn't think it was weird. And it's like, I'm not selling it to them. They'd be getting it for free. You know what I mean? It's just literally a trade game. So it's like, it could be kind of cute, right? I don't know. I was thinking like maybe I'd bring 2 copies of my book and then like 2 other books that I am willing to let go of. Like maybe a romance that just like didn't end up being my style but is like popular with other people. And I would just trade those away. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't know. Get new books. Maybe we'll get something for book club. Who knows? Who knows, right? Good morning, Jen. The van lady heard that you're an author. Yeah, that one. That's the same one. Yeah. Same van lady. Yeah. It's funny that you remember that. Yeah, he was incredulous about that. He was like, hey, Liz. He couldn't believe that she didn't ask. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. I was a little surprised that she didn't ask, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. I wish there was something like that in my area. Yeah, I mean, it's a new thing here, for sure. For sure. You can go to sleep anytime, Angel. You can go to sleep anytime. Anytime you want to sleep, you can. Anytime you want to sleep, you can. Anytime you want to sleep, you can. Oh, she didn't ask 100% do it. Someone is going to be excited. Yeah, someone will. If, maybe she didn't want to be intrusive. Yeah, maybe. But she's the one who came up to us to, like, compliment the baby. That's the only reason I even said anything. Like, I didn't, like, walk up to her and start talking about it. She, like, walked up and she was like, oh, my God, your baby is so cute. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then she was like, I don't remember. She said something else. And I was like, yeah, her older brother has a book. And she was like, what? And I was like, oh, I wrote a book and my husband drew the cover, so we say that's her older brother, you know, whatever. Was Dream Lady with Lauren Irving? Yes, that was a Lauren, but, you know, you're not maligning Lauren for no reason. Dream Mean Book Lady was, but this lady wasn't mean, she just was aloof, you know. There's a difference, I think. So that is funny that you remember that. Dream Book Lady was a Lauren. Yeah. Are we actually falling asleep? Are we doing it? That'd be great. You can fall asleep anytime you want, honey. Mommy will never stop you from sleeping. That's not something I would do. Well, not since you were a little baby and I was forced to wake you up to feed you because you needed to gain weight, but not since then. Not since then. I would die of book limit. That would be so weird. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna ask her name next time we're there, which is obviously gonna be this week. I'm just gonna be just like, hey, by the way, what's your name? Just like, no reason. Anyway. Are you Lauren by any chance? And if her name is Lauren, it means that I am a psychic. Can you imagine you pick up on her vibe? Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah, right. We've just been calling you Book Van Lady, so we need to know your name, right? Can you imagine if I go up and I say like, hey, hi, I'm Sasha. I'm here for the book trade event. No reason, just curious about your name because I wanted to be able to stop calling you Book Van Lady when I talk to my book club. Ridiculous. Morning, Anya. Hey, Jillian. That would be funny. That would be funny. Hey, Claire. Are you guys ready for the shock of your life today? Are you guys ready? I have something shocking to show you. Watching your slime videos on YouTube right now. Hey, I just put new ones up yesterday. I was actually able to make slime videos. It's a miracle. Because she actually kind of slept a little bit yesterday. Not a lot, but a little bit. We could use more. Is lightening her hair up. You know what? It does appear to be getting lighter. It's definitely not my color anymore. Look at this. I mean, you can't, hey Amber, you can't joke about that. That is not the same color, right? Her hair when she was born was my color, but like, not now. Yeah, it's definitely getting lighter. My husband believes that it will be light brown or blonde, but I am still holding out hope that she gets red hair because if I have an Ariel baby, oh my God, what exciting news for me if I manage to get a baby that is, he was a ginger when he came out. Yeah, no, she came out with like black hair, but like I'm holding out hope that she gets his hair in the end because how cool would that be? Blue eyes, red hair, I mean Ariel, right? Like true Ariel. She would be Ariel, my sweet little mermaid baby, because she is a little water baby. She loves all water things. She loves the pool, she loves the ocean, she loves sea creatures, she loves the aquarium. So, he was ginger when he came out, very light blonde, and now they both have brown hair. Yeah, that's what he thinks. He thinks that she's gonna have light brown hair or blonde hair like pretty much all of her cousins. Guys, she has 10 cousins. She has 10 cousins, and all of them except for one is either blonde or very, very light brown hair. Zoe has very light brown hair. I mean, same Jen. So, well, she has 2 that aren't blonde. Okay, 10 cousins. She has 10 cousins. 2 are not blonde. So all of them have like towhead blonde hair, except for 2. One of which is Zoe, whose hair you guys have seen, which is like light brown, and one is one of her older cousins has red hair. So the rest of them are all blonde on both sides. How is that possible? Both sides. Look at me. Do I look like I should have blonde nieces and nephews? Do I look like I should have a blonde child? No, I do not. Okay, are you guys ready for a new development? Are you ready? Okay, she's gonna make me stand, so you guys have to go right here, I guess. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? She's just gonna look over here the whole time. Here's the new development. Reading glasses for my Kindle. It's a postpartum symptom I didn't expect, but here we are. The genetics are wild, and I both have brown eyes, and 2 to 3 of the kids have gray blue. Yeah, it's weird. These are the glasses that they gave me. They said that I need them for any up-close reading, like the phone or the Kindle or a book. So, oh, Liz, Ethan's hair is some of the blondest of the bunch. Ethan's hair is like Brandon. Truly, it's that blonde. Ethan is so blonde. He has his dad's exact hair. Very, very blonde, curly hair. Yeah, very blonde. Almost white blonde, actually. Very, very blonde. Thank you. I'm glad you guys think they're cute. It's going to take some getting used to. But, you know, now I look even more like a person who should run a book club, right? Thank you, Patty. No, yeah, it's not dark at all. Okay, bye, Nikki. We'll see you later. Okay, Grumble Pants. Okay, so today we're going to read chapter 16. You're mad about this book because it's heartbreaking, that kind of mad? I mean, because same, if that's the kind of mad you're talking about. It's weird. It is clearer, I will tell you that. I love the glasses. I still gotta push mine up 3 years post it. Yeah, it's when did Ellen get here? Does Ellen wear glasses? I don't think Ellen wears glasses, does she? I've read it all in, yes, yeah. Yeah, they are cute frames. My husband helped me pick them out. There weren't a lot of cute options at the iPlace, I'm not gonna lie. They are pink, yeah, like a pinkish purple. Yeah, they're nice. Yeah, I'm not mad about them. So we are gonna read chapter 16 if she will let us, and let's see how we go. Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people say that I do look like Ellen, but I don't think Ellen wears glasses. Why did I think Jessica was first decade alphabet, not the 15th? Oh yeah, no, she was much later on. Yeah, I like the color too. Yeah, 10th anniversary alphabet, if I remember correctly, was Lindsay Mendez. So anyone after her is not first decade. I've got some in that color. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you. Thank you, Gigi. That's very kind of you. So it is going to take some getting used to. Do you guys want to see the other ones? I also have to have glasses for other stuff that is like the separate thing. I don't have to wear them all the time, but if I wear them, they'll stop my, I guess, astigmatism from getting worse because I guess I've been squinting. These are my like non-reading glasses. So for regular not reading, we have those. And then we have these for reading. So that's where we're at. That's what happens when you have a baby, I guess. I had perfect eyes my whole life, and then, you know, here we are. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Ray. That's very sweet. But it's an adjustment to have something on your face, for sure. Yeah. Okay, let's read chapter 16. Here we go. Are you gonna let me read it or what? You could just sleep. You could just sleep. You could. Why don't you lay your head down? Yeah, lay your head down. Sleepy. It's so crazy. I guess it gave me an astigmatism, which is kind of like a misshaping of your eyes. She is going to read today, it's true, but I have glasses to make me read better. Let's see if it makes me not trip over words. What do you think? Ooh, wouldn't that be fun? Until after you turn 40. Well, then maybe that's what it is, Gigi. Maybe it's that too. They said it was probably postpartum. They also, you guys want to hear something crazy? The eye doctor, the ophthalmologist, said if it is a postpartum thing, some people's, just leave ultimatums in addition. Yes, exactly. Some people's postpartum astigmatism go away by the time the baby's 1. Sometimes it just disappears and your eyes just go back to normal. Isn't that weird? And so she said if I'm diligent about wearing my glasses, it may fix or never get worse if it was from postpartum. Now, if it's just because I'm older now, that's not going to happen. But if it's from postpartum, yeah, my super postpartum is like gallbladder removal. Ugh. You know, I'll take the glasses. Is that weird that I'm willing to take glasses over that? Oh, grumble pants. Grumble pants, grumble pants, grumble, grumble, grumble pants. Okay, that was my song. And now we're going to read. Okay, she's putting her head down. She's so tired, you guys. Poison. That's what's running in this stream. I press my hand against my stomach, registering that what I took for cold water pangs are sharp and burning. I immediately stick my finger down my throat and manage to gag up some acid before I remember that that's not the best way to deal with poison. It can hurt you just as much coming up as it does going down. An antidote is best. An antidote. No, the glasses haven't helped me read better. Like the one President Snow carried in his pocket, but I have no antidote. I dig through my pack for something that might soak up the toxic fluids, something spongy like bread, and there's nothing of the kind there. What would even do the thing? The pain intensifies, so I swallow some clean water from the bottle, hoping to dilute the poison to no avail. My breath comes in gasps and perspiration beads my face. This is it then. This is how I die, not ending in the Hunger Games, just curled up in the dirt, poisoned like a rat. I dump out all my supplies and reach for a potato, the most benign thing that I have, and I take a bite of its hard, crisp flesh when my eyes land on the charcoal tablets. It's fall a few years back, and we've overdone it on the hot pepper soup. Mama is chomping on her tablets saying, "Good for whatever ails your belly, fire, wind, or poison." I thought the game makers meant them as a joke, but maybe they're an antidote. Without hesitating, I spit out the potato, tear into a packet, and stuff a handful of tablets into my mouth. I grind them into powder with my teeth and wash them down and gauge the condition of my stomach. No change. And then I send another half dozen down my gullet. This time I think that I can begin to feel some relief. Without warning, I spew everything since yesterday's lunch into the stream. I kneel on all fours, panting, dripping sweat and saliva. I'm still queasy, but the pain has ebbed. For good measure, I put the tablet on my tongue and then I let it dissolve. My back finds a tree trunk and I collapse against it, waiting for my heartbeat to slow. I might not die. I can't die, not just yet. Not before I blow that tank sky high. And as I step back from death's door, I try to get back on track. My supplies lie in a jumble at my feet, my stupid, redundant supplies that I could apparently find anywhere. And suddenly I sit upright as I remember Mag's advice. Look for clues to your arena. The game makers sometimes hide little hints about the nature of the arena in the design. If the contents of my backpack are clues, what are they trying to reveal? Why would all of my food and drink be easy pickings in the arena unless I take the rabbit carcass across the stream? Unless every mouthful is precious because their counterparts are poison. The minute I conceive of this possibility, I know that it's true, and the luscious apples on the boughs over my head are as deadly as crystal water. And if that's true, what other food and drink here will kill you? Everything, probably. It isn't safe to sample anything that didn't come from the cornucopia. And as I brush off my supplies and carefully repack them, I think about the 2 cannon shots that fired after the bloodbath. Did one career and one newcomer die there, boy, alerting the rest of their alliance to the poisonous nature of the arena? Reminds me of the canaries we take down to the coal mines in 12. They're the first to die when there's deadly gas around, warning the miners of imminent danger. Maybe both were careers, because I bet Ampert and Welly could have figured out the food thing pretty quick in the packets as a clue. Probably, if we hadn't formed such a tight alliance, far more tributes would be dying right now. Were game makers counting on that, and maybe we've thrown them? Every bite of clean food is priceless. I consider the rabbit again, fur color or not. While I've no appetite now, I know I'll be famished later, but its bloody beard puts me off. The last thing I need is to be ingesting more poison. What I need is to be moving north. Unfortunately, when I rise to my feet, a wave of nausea hits me, and I clutch my spear to stay upright. How long will the toxins take to leave my system? I take deep gulps of the finely crafted air, which no longer charms me. It's not deadly, but it's not fresh either. Something unwholesome hides under the perfume, and I remember the dazed looks on the tributes' faces as we waited the gong. Did the air drug us? Is it contributing to how weak and sick I feel now, or is it the water that's to blame for that? I guess I can't stop breathing, though, so I wobble off to the north. It's no good after a few hundred yards. I slide to the forest floor, throw up my latest charcoal tablet, and scrunch back into a ball. The chills begin raking my body and causing my teeth to chatter so hard that I'm in danger of breaking them. All I want to do is be home in my bed in District 12 with Ma there to take care of me, to spoon sips of chicken back
chicken back broth and pile every quilt onto my shaking body and put a goose feather pillow under my head. The thought of Ma watching me, unable to get her hands on me, makes me try to look less pathetic. I force myself to sit up and dry my dripping face on a handkerchief. Nothing but a sitting duck. I need to hide, but since there's no real path in the woods, I can't get off on one. Over there looks like no safer than right here, and if a career followed me across the meadow, I'm not just a sitting duck, I'm also a dead one. Muddled, I reach for Wyrus's song. Find food and where to sleep, fire friends can keep. Heading north takes a distant second to finding a safe place to recover. Fire and friends will have to keep. I hold myself back onto my boots and I consider climbing a tree, but I'm still woozy, so I'm sure I'll tumble out. What I really need to do is lie down somewhere hidden. I totter around for a bit, veering a little to the east, and I come up on a large blueberry patch laden with fruit the size of cherries. Obviously, I can't eat them, but the dense bushes free of thorns offer a refuge, and I lay on my belly and burrow deep into the thicket, dragging my pack behind me. At what I judge to be the center, I arrange my hammock on the ground and I collapse onto it, pulling the meshy skin around me for warmth. I can't see out, so I'm hoping no one else can see in. Doesn't matter, I'm going nowhere. For several hours, I alternate between violent chills and drenching fever sweats. Pain spikes my muscles, and my head feels like it's trapped in one of Tam Amber's vices. I vaguely wonder if some of my fellow tributes are experiencing the same misery. No cannons have fired since the two I attributed to the poisoning. Possibly others now lie helpless like me, waiting for the rest of the poison to work its way out. Whatever's happened, the game makers don't appear to be unleashing mutts or driving us together. After 20 opening day deaths, we're rewarded with a lull in the bloodshed. Our performance has been satisfactory. Nightfall brings the anthem blasting through the arena, and I rally enough to pull myself to the edge of the berry patch and look up to see the flag of Panem projected on the sky. It's time for the memorial photos of the dead tributes, a rare hint into our standing in the games. 20 today. I splay my fingers out on the dirt, pressing down one for each death. After I've run through them twice, it'll be over, and I'll know how the newcomers have fared. When the first fallen tributes appear, I register the outfit. Snot green. I know it's the girl from District 1. Karat, I think her name is. And then we jump to Urchin, the boy from District 4 who knocked me from the chariot with his trident. I'm relieved to see that District 3 has been spared, particularly Ampert. A boy and a girl in District 5, Orange, bringing the career deaths... District 5, Orange, bring the career death count to 4. One of my doves, Miles, the kid next to us who couldn't breathe in the shower, appears next, and my heart sinks. The careers are all through by District 5, and that means that the other 16 deaths today are all newcomers. I watch as they unspool a second dove. It's Velo from 6, both boys from 7, all 4 kids from 8, all 4 from 9, both girls from 10, Tile, the boy from 11. The pinky on my left hand remains lifted. One tribute is left. Is it another kid from 11, or is it one of my own? Wyatt. Wyatt Callow, whose luck just ran out. I can't believe how hard this hits me, how much it hurts. A few days ago, I didn't even want him for an ally, but he wasn't a bad guy. Not really. He just came from a rotten family. District 12's sympathy will be in short supply. How's the betting going, Mr. Callow? You make money on your boy today? They'll say. Most people wouldn't say this to him, but it wouldn't stop another from doing so, as repellent as his behavior has been. Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to go so soon either, Nagisa. Jeez, brutal. I wonder how Wyatt died, and I immediately feel certain that he was protecting Lulu, the way that no one had ever protected him, including me. I ran off, and I left all the newcomers to fend for one another. I know that I had to if I was going to carry out Beatty's plan, but it sure doesn't feel good to do it. A fury rises up in me at the thought of Wyatt's sacrifice and how the Capitol has pitted us tributes against one another in this poisonous beauty of an arena. The games must end. They must end here and now. Every death reinforces the importance of an arena plot succeeding. Focus, I tell myself, and struggle through the brain fog. I remember that all 4 of the kids from 9 are dead. Did Ampert manage to scavenge the sunflowers before the hovercrafts collected their bodies? If he didn't, what are we gonna do now? We're useless without those explosives, and maybe we're useless even with them, but we certainly are without them. Wait, why was I typing that he was protecting Lily? I know, oh God. We all had to know that, right, though, Naisa? Because he was, for some reason, he was really attached to protecting her. And I guess it's because of what Hamish said. No one ever protected him, you know? You know what we always say here, right? Be the kind of adult you wish you had when you were a teenager. And Wyatt, even though he was still a teenager, was being the kind of older person that a younger person needed. Yeah. Yeah. When I wake late in the morning, I find myself staring into a pair of limpid green eyes. One of the gray bunnies has taken cover in the brambles and hunkered down a few feet from me. Maybe it's just a normal rabbit that got thrown into this creepy place, and it feels just as frightened as I do. It could be accustomed to human keepers and found me because it's hungry and figured that all the plants and grass around are poisonous as the water. I could use a smart companion, so I take out an apple, I bite off a small bit, and I gingerly set it in front of my new friend. After a bit, it scoots forward, wiggles its little nose, and begins to nibble. I realize that this is a way to double check if the apples in my pack are toxic, which makes me feel kind of lousy since I sort of owe the rabbits anyway. The one that woke me up at my plate, the one that sacrificed its life in the stream to warn me. Wait, am I saying that it knew the water was poisonous and it chose to protect me? That this bunny here would do the same? Okay, no. Now I know I'm overcrediting the bunnies, but still, I don't want one of my last acts on Earth to be taking out an ally, especially a dove-colored one. Fortunately, it doesn't die and I plow into my apple, which tastes amazing and helps me assess my situation. So look, 20 died yesterday, 4 careers, 16 newcomers, and those aren't good numbers. Even though I'm no Wyatt, I can figure out that we used to have twice as many newcomers as careers, and now we're almost even. We better be smarter, but we may be smarter, but they're mowing us down with brute force. I'm afraid Ampert's theory isn't holding up too well in practice, although maybe now that the bloodbath is over, the newcomers' brain power and unity will give them an advantage. Find Hamish. My head bashes into a tangle of berry branches at the whispered voice. Find Hamish. A pair of little hands wrap around my boots, and Lulu's face, splattered in dried blood and dirt, materializes over them. Found him, she says. The rabbit bolts, and I have to resist the impulse to follow. Lulu? She's not part of the plan. How did she find me? Is she being tracked? Suddenly my bushes don't seem safe at all. Hey there, Lulu, I say, trying to sound calm. Are you alone? Are the others with you? Mountain. Just us then. Everybody else went to the right after I ran to the left, I think. Lulu tugs on my boots for me to follow her and then back crawls out of the bushes. Not knowing what I will find, I emerge, knife and spear ready, but our surroundings seem quiet and deserted. Maybe both packs did go to the mountain. A quick appraisal of the immediate area solves the mystery of her finding me. I broke off several branches digging my way into the thicket, and most embarrassingly, my handkerchief snagged on one and hangs there like a welcome sign. The illusion that I'd successfully camouflaged myself is silly. I'm just lucky no careers came along. Even Lulu's appearance presents a problem for a rascal bent on winning. But as I said in my interview, that the newcomers were 100% safe with me. She's supposedly from my district. I guess I can look after her, at least until Ampert shows up and I have to blow up the tank, and then that will be my sole priority. Lulu stares up into an apple tree and quietly sings to herself. Mockingjay up on the branch, nesting in this apple tree, picking time, so fly away, fly away, fly away, picking time, so fly away with me. She reaches up for an apple and I grab her hand. No, not those. Those are bad apples. Look, I've got a good one here. And I pull a nice shiny red one from my pack and settle her on the ground with it. She carries no pack or supplies of her own, and as usual, she attacks her food ravenously. It's going to be a full-time job keeping her away from this deadly fruit. It's a wonder she's made it this far. I guess the meadow was safe, and perhaps she didn't notice the fruit in the dark. Judging by the dirt on her clothes, she spent some time sleeping on the ground. I peeled a couple of hard-boiled eggs for us, and I considered asking her about Wyatt, but there's a real likelihood that she witnessed his death. Perhaps she's even wearing his blood, and I don't want to set her off. Who told you to find me, Lulu? She taps her bad ear. Find Hamish. And then that pulls me up short. The game makers? Why would they send her to find me? It can't be for any good reason. Murderers, Lulu adds, picking at the dried blood on her cheek. She finishes her egg, and without asking, she finishes mine too. She starts rooting around in my pack and comes up with a potato, and I gently pry it from her hand. For later, for supper. But I let her drink her fill of the water, afraid that she could dive into the stream at any time. She's already drugged and brainwashed. I don't need her sick as well. No question, her arrival has thrown a wrench in my plans. I don't know if I can manage to do my part with her tagging along, but I can't just dump her alone in the woods for the careers to slaughter. Like Wyatt said, she's ours now. For better or worse, she's a part of the flood mission. I wet her handkerchief and I wipe her face clean. Come on, I tell her, let's go find your snake. This suggestion perks her up and she bounces to her feet. Using the sun to get my bearings, I lead her north. I've got 2 jobs to accomplish before I meet up with Amford, which could be at any moment. First, I need to find a sparking rock and confirm that I can make a fire with my flint striker, and then I have to locate a mutt portal, probably under a berm. That will serve as the entrance to the tunnels. As we walk along, I keep an eye peeled for likely rocks. Flint would be best, but Lenore Dove said any kind of sparking rock will do. The floor of the forest proves devoid of rocks, but I feel like I've seen some. The pattern of colorful stones glistening in the sunlight. Oh, the stream. That's it. When I was retching into it, I remember the shiny rocks winking up at me, but the water, it will be poisonous. Could I risk dipping my hand in to snag one? When Lulu shows too much interest in a raspberry bush, I distract her with another apple and I slip off to a nearby stream. With the tip of my spear, I dislodge several rocks from the bed and I slide them onto the bank. I wipe them with leaves and pour a bit of clean water and then pat them off and scoop them up. I get back to Lulu just in time to stop her from raiding a bush. I go ahead and I give her chunks of the raw potato I bit into yesterday, and I eat a few pieces of it myself to calm my rocky stomach. It doesn't take us long to finish this off. The rocks dry quickly in the midday sun, and I give them to Lulu to hold, emphasizing the importance of the job, but really to keep her occupied. After untying the flint striker from my neck, I cup it in my hands, letting the sunbeam play off of the bird and snake head. I allow myself a moment with Lenore Dove then, imagining her in the meadow along with her flock of geese, or watching me on the ancient television that Tam Amber manages to keep functional. Not in the square, not where anyone can gather to see the huge projections of the games, but privately in the Covey's funny crooked little house, forbidden to leave by her uncles. Distraught but unbruised, unbeaten, unbroken, and safe at home. I consider faking a moment of discovery that I've brought a flint striker into the arena, but since I've already collected the rocks, that seems stagey. Instead, I decide to double down on the rascal angle and admit that I've pulled a fast one on the game makers. I'm a rascal, not a rebel, just a trickster who's trying to win the games. See this, Lulu? I say. This is our ticket to a hot meal. Start with the pink rock. And Lulu plucks out the rosy stone from our stash and sets it in my open hand. I grab the flint striker in the other hand and I take a crack at it, bringing the steel edge of the striker across the surface of the stone. Nothing happens. After 3 more attempts, I know it's a dud. All right, green, I instruct Lulu, but as it's sparkless as the first, and we work our way through the pile and my heart begins to sink. What if there isn't a sparking rock in this whole arena? When I mentioned it to Beatty, he said there possibly was, but he'd never come back and said that there weren't any, leading me to assume that I would find one. If not, the whole gig is up, and I'm left to wait here for snow to kill me. She sets the final rock, a long, muddy gray crystal in front of me. It's quartz, maybe. I take a vicious swipe at it, drawing the rock back for good measure. A spray of sparks flies, letting me know that we found a live one. Lulu claps and I let out a huge huff of relief. Baked potatoes tonight, I promise her with a grin. Since we're not immediately attacked by mutts, I figure that the game makers have decided to let my rascally behavior ride. It adds a little harmless spice to the games. Bet my sponsors are sending some dollars my way too. Since Mags and Wyrus know that I've got Lulu to feed now, I hope it's enough for something to complement our potatoes. Lulu gives a tremendous yawn, and just like that, she curls up like a little kitten and falls asleep. It's so fast that I wonder if the game makers are drugging her again, but maybe she just hasn't gotten much rest in here. I try to rouse her, giving her shoulders a little shake, but she only frowns and mutters something. What now? I can't carry her, not in this condition, but I can't abandon her either. Now's as good a time as any to bake those potatoes, I guess. First, I need to build a fire. I wander around, never straying far from Lulu, collecting the driest pine needles, kindling, and small branches that I could find. This is a strategy that Hattie taught me. Steer clear of green or wet wood to minimize your smoke. No use in pointing out that you're breaking the law, even if everybody knows full well that it's true. Along the way, I have a chance to examine some of the berms. The mounds appear uniform, about 8 feet in diameter and 2 feet at the crown, perfectly circular. However, each features its own flower, identifying by a small brass plaque at the base, much like labeling in Plutarch's mansion. Since this is the game maker's garden, it probably isn't too wise to trust it, but I read the plaques anyway, hoping for clues. Crocuses, tiger lilies, pansies. I try not to think what lies beneath some of them waiting to attack me. Real quick, and I know that this probably isn't even relevant, but those are the same plants in The Secret Garden, the book. Like the old novel, The Secret Garden. Crocuses, lilies, and pansies are in that book as well. And I know they're just like regular flowers, but it's kind of interesting, right? In a way. The only reason I even know that. Oh no, angry pants. Why angry? You gonna wake up angry? You only slept like half an hour. You want to be angry after a half an hour nap? No way. No way. More nap. More nap. Shh, 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 shh. Hey, no angry. No angry. Okay, hold on. I have an idea. Hey. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Here, look. Yeah, is that better? Yeah. Okay, is that a little better? No, it's not better? It's not better? Thank you. I also love the rainbow wrap. We love all our rainbow wraps. What's the matter, honey? You don't want that? Okay. What do you want? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you a hungry girl? You want to eat? Do you want to eat? Hey, look at mommy. Look at mommy, Angel. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Look at mommy. Look. Here. Here. Here, you can eat. Yeah. You can eat. What I was going to say was the only reason that I know that you can eat, it's okay, that those are the flowers of the book is because I got her a collection of what they call them baby primers, but they're learning books that teach you different things by using information from like classic literature. So like it's a book about colors and flowers that uses quotes from The Secret Garden. And that's how we know that those are the flowers in The Secret Garden, huh? Yeah. Yeah. She loves the crocuses page, huh? So pretty. It's so pretty, huh? Okay, can we keep reading, do you think? You think you're gonna let me? You think you're gonna let me keep reading? You can eat? What do you think? Yeah? Maybe? You don't want to keep eating? You pushing mommy away, you don't want to eat? What do you want? You want out? Do you want out? Do you want to sit in your bouncy? What do you want? What do you want? Okay, you can come out. You can sit in your bouncy. Chicken Garden was one of my favorites. Oh yeah, it's definitely worth a reread for sure. Pizza's in. Pizza's in. There you go. Hi. Hi. You think mommy looks silly in glasses? When you fell asleep, mommy didn't have glasses on, huh? Yeah. Mommy looks silly. She's looking at my face like, what is that? Does mommy look silly? Does mommy look silly with glasses on? Is mommy silly looking? Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a second to have a sip before we keep reading. I think she's gonna let me. Okay. All right. Where were we? I try not to think of what lies beneath them waiting to attack me. One catches my attention. gas plant. The Covey's yard has a wondrous hodgepodge of flowering plants dug up from the woods over the years and bended down in front of their house with no apparent rhyme or reason. From late March to November, you can count on at least one flower or bush being in bloom, and Lador Dove generally wears a few of the blooms in her hair when she performs. Never from the gas plant, though. Too dangerous, she told me, and then she demonstrated why, touching a lit match to the stalk of pale purple flowers. A whoosh of flames followed them, and then disappeared just as quickly, leaving the flowers unharmed. Imagine if that happened on my head, she said with a laugh. Using shreds of cardboard from my egg carton, I get a small flame going pretty quickly, and I coax it along by feeding it pine needles and twigs until I've got a proper fire. Almost no smoke, so I keep it alive with an infusion of dry wood. About an hour passes before I have enough ashes to bake the potatoes, and I lay 3 in the coals and set down to wait. A distant boom alerts me to the fact that another tribute has died. 21 are gone now, 27 left. Career, newcomer, I've got no way of knowing until tonight. And when the potato goes soft, I wake Lulu and we make quick work of it and then get a couple more eggs. I feel loads better, like the rest of the poison has been absorbed, and she's bright-eyed after a nap. I consider dousing the fire, but decide that my water is too costly, so I leave it to smolder, a thing that Hattie would never allow. Fire's catching, she'd say, but if this one burns down the arena, I say good riddance. I'm more optimistic after my success with the flint striker, now on to find my berm. They're so numerous that I can't imagine every single one of them conceals a mutt portal that connects to sub A tunnel. Beatty said, do your best to locate the mutt portal by the tracking, returning the mutts after an attack. And since I haven't identified any mutts yet, I keep working my way north to find likely candidates. Lulu thinks that we're looking for her snake, which holds her attention and keeps her trotting ahead of me at a reasonable pace. As we move north, I almost forget about her, preoccupied with checking our surroundings for danger and reviewing my bomb setting techniques from 12. Fire to fuse, fuse to blast cap, blasting cap to explosive, her squeal of delight slap. That was my fault, not yours. Her squeal of delight snaps me back to the arena. She darts for a nearby berm covered with scarlet flowers. I don't know why this one, since she's viewed others with indifference. I chase her, but she reaches the hillock first, plowing into the greenery, crushing handfuls of the leaves and burying her face in the red blossoms. I spot a nameplate and I relax a bit. I know this plant, and I recognize the faint minty scent that it has. I've even helped Burdock gather some for Astrid to make medicines at the apothecary shop. Oh. Bee balm, a healing plant. It grows wild in our mountains, and Lulu clearly recognizes it as well. The seeded bread, the candle smoke, and now these flowers, all of them must transport Lulu back home somehow. Mama said that the smells stick in your memory the strongest, more than sights or sounds. Didn't the bean and ham hock soup take me back to 12? Lulu's breathing so deeply that she's starting to gasp, and good memories or not, I decide it's time to pull her out of there. So I drop my stuff on the ground, and I've just wrapped my arms around her middle when the coughing begins. I haul her off the berm, and she sits back on her heels, making a choking sound. A yellow pollen coats her from head to toe. Thinking that she's allergic to the bee balm, I dampen her handkerchief, and I begin to wipe her down. Hey, just breathe, Lulu, I say soothingly. Look, they're only flowers. But nothing's only anything in this arena, and when the blood begins running from her eyes, her nose, her mouth, the last reminder of our dear president, I know I'm wrong. Lulu, I cry. No, Lulu, hold on. And she collapses against me, and I cradle her in my arms as the convulsions begin. There's nothing I can do but watch, helpless again, just as I was to save Luella. And for a moment the two merge, Lulu and Luella, just one pigtailed kid that I've known her whole life and would do anything to spare her this. Her skin begins to turn blue. Enough, I beg the game makers. They could end this with the touch of a button, knock her out as they did in the interview, this time sending a lethal dose of sedative through her pump. Spare her this torturous death. But her agony continues, filling me with fury. This is enough, I scream. She is not your plaything. My fingers find the pump hidden under her shirt and lock around it, and with one powerful yank, I free her. Oh, it's heartbreaking. Ugh. ridiculous they do to people. It's ridiculous. This poor man. I know we've said it before, but I will say it again. It is no wonder that Hamish became an alcoholic. I mean, can you blame him? Like, really, can you blame him? I cannot blame him. Because, I mean, he's just mentally trying to escape probably what is days and nights of waking and sleeping nightmares, daymares, trauma, the whole shebang. Because, of course, like we said, we all know he wins. We all know he makes it out because we've read the other books and he's in them. Like, we get that. But first of all, like, survivor's guilt is definitely a thing. Second of all, he has to suffer more than these people who died quickly, that's for sure. He has to live for the next however many years with all of this. Yeah, at what cost? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, no offense, but Luella got off easy, you know? She died before she ever even had to go in the arena. Yes, we're sad about it. Yes, it would have been nice for her to live her life not... The game shouldn't even exist, right? We know that. But, like, if they're going to exist, wouldn't you rather just go quickly and have it be over with? Honestly, shocked more winners aren't alcoholics. I mean, I think that we would probably find that they are. Like, some of them are into Morphling. We found that. Big survivor's guilt, and they has to mentor... I know. Truly cruel. Having the winners mentor others, yeah, they have to see them die each year is just... Which is why I think despite her anger at the fact that he's kind of messing up her job, I think it's why Effie kind of still puts up with him, you know? In a way. I don't know. She kind of does, right? Do you like that? Is that Chewy nice? Yeah. Yeah. Hi, beautiful. Hi, pretty girl. Unrelated to this. So, for better or worse, she knows the words beautiful and pretty. And we're trying to make sure that she also knows the words smart and strong and brave, of course. But she knows what it sounds like when someone says, "Oh, you're so beautiful." And she smiles at strangers when they say that because, like, I think I've told you guys this before. She's the kind of pretty that, like, people stop in the street and they're like, "Oh my God, your daughter's so beautiful." And when when they say that, she goes like that. And then they go, "Oh, she smiled at me." And so it perpetuates her doing it because she likes the reaction that they give when she does that. So yesterday I was in our little, like, shopping center in Times Square. I don't live in New York City, in, like, the main square or whatever. And I went in to go make an appointment, and one of the women behind the counter was like, "Oh, who is this? You're so beautiful." And she went, and they were, like, all gathered around her. I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. I tell my husband all the time, with her face, if she gets my singing voice, we might lose her to the stage. She might be a professional. If she looks like her and sounds like me, we're in trouble. Recently brought an espresso. Can you share your milk frothy mixture? Sure, I can. Yes, with the caveat that not everybody likes it my way, but I will tell you what I do. So, and it depends on which pods you use because it's not intuitive, Gigi, but the different pods make different size cups, right? So you have to weight the milk with that in mind, right? So I use, like, 3 different types of milk, if you will, but everyone can use different, like, some people use oat milk, some people, I still drink regular milk, for better or worse, whatever. So I do, like, if we're doing it in thirds, you can do 1/3 whole milk, 1/3 half and half, and 1/3 creamer of your choice. Right, I know, instead of thank you, yeah, she totally does. And then sometimes I will do more milk and half and a little less creamer if it is a flavored pod. So like for example, we have the pistachio pods, and I really like the pistachio flavor, and I don't want the creamer to overtake that flavor. So I do, like, 2/3 half and half, 1/3 milk and 1/3 creamer, you know what I mean? Kind of like that. You can play with how you like those three, but those are the three things I use. And the reason I use all three, everyone's always like, okay, you can come out. I get a lot of questions about why I use all three, because like technically half and half has milk in it, but half and half is more difficult to get to froth, and I like foam, so I always put the milk in it because I want there to be foam, you know what I mean? So if you don't care about the foam, you don't need the milk, you can just do half and half and creamer or whatever if you want, but I like foam. I find it fun, so I always put some whole milk in there for that. The more whole milk you use, the frothier it will be. The more creamer you use, the less frothy it will be, because creamer doesn't foam nearly as well. She's like, you're talking to my fans picking up. I know, you're beautiful and strong and smart and intelligent and brave and silly and chompy. You're chompy on mommy, yeah. So, oh, now I have wet cheek. Great. So yes, that is that. Yes, she is. She's everybody's online little sister or niece, depending on how old you are. So yeah. Anyway, I'm hoping to get more of those Amazon Prime things filmed today, as well as some people's custom slimes that need to be done. I'm hoping she lets me film those today. Has she gone to the aquarium with Auntie Shira yet? Not with Auntie Shira, but we've gone to Auntie Shira's aquarium, the one that she has a pass to. We love that aquarium. Shira wasn't in town when we were able to go with, we went with my sister and my niece and nephew. Oh, thank you. I'm actually getting my hair cut today, you guys. That's why I have it down, because I'm trying to I had it in a braid, and these are the braid curls. I'm trying to they were so small, but they were pretty good, Jen. I mean, I'm not mad at it for $5. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty good. For $5? I mean, I know that they don't normally cost that. Normally it's a lot more. It was a Prime deal. Normally that pack, I guess, someone told me that on a regular day it's like $15. It's not worth $15, okay? It's only worth it on the sale, because for $15 you could get more than that slime. Like one of my 8-ounce slimes, that is definitely not 8 ounces, is $15. You know what I mean? So you can get good slime for $15, but for $5, not bad. So yeah, it was an interesting exercise in that. Wait, you guys, I wanted to tell you guys about this. I filmed a thing, well, I haven't filmed a thing for it, but I took a picture, a video of this thing, because someone needs to remind me later to go through. I want to try the hilarious tips on this care sheet that they gave, because some of it is real and some of it is hilariously wrong. Before I go, I want to tell you guys about it, and then I'll make a video. Like, okay, so for example, you can't really see it on here, but they have these pictures at the top. It says, I'm going to read this to you. This cracks me up. Are you ready? It says, after stretching, the color of the slime will become lighter, but don't worry, just let it stand still and it will go back to the original color. Now, while that is true, they're failing to mention the why of it. When you stretch it, it fills with air, and that's why it gets, but they're not explaining that, which is fine. They don't need to explain it, but this is the funny part. So while they're correct about that, they say, after stretching, there will be some texture on the surface, but 5 minutes later, it will go back to normal. No, it ever will not. You think all the air is going to come out in 5 minutes? Yeah, even she's laughing. We all know that's not true, so I'm going to do a test on these, because we all know that's false. And I'm going to set up a time lapse to watch the slime for 5 minutes, because there's no way a slime is going to clear up in 5 minutes after turning it, playing with it like that. Like, that's just not a thing. Will it turn back? Of course. Yes, they're right that it does go back if you leave it alone. Of course, that's correct, but not in 5 minutes. I know. And then here's some other funny stuff. You guys ready? Okay. So it says, always wash your hands. All of that is correct. Good stuff like that. When you're not playing with it, put it back, yada, yada. You ready? Okay, this is funny. Sticky slime, ? You can try the following solutions. Put the slime in the refrigerator to prevent heat from causing the slime to be too sticky. Now, first of all, this tells me that someone, hey, are you really going to talk over me right now? I'm trying to read to them about slime. It's not even book club anymore. We did the book part. We survived that. Now let me just read this real quick. So it says solutions with an S, and then it gives you one solution, first of all. And the solution is just put the slime in the fridge. Guys, putting the slime in the fridge will cool it down, but it won't take away stickiness. She has big things to say, Gigi. Your internet grandma says that she needs you to be quiet so I can read this. I know you didn't say that, but she can't read, so she doesn't know what you said or didn't. And then this is the other thing it says. It says, stiff slime, you can try the following solutions. Again, multiple solutions, but they only give you one. Apparently, if your slime is stiff, you should put the slime back into the jar or bucket and then, not then, T-H-A-N, put the slime bucket in a cup of hot water using waterproof heating to soften it. Which, I mean, that would work, yes. In the short term, it will not work in the long term. It will work, but not forever. It will only work until it cools down. But that's still only one solution. Anyway, here's another one. Are you ready? We're going to try this, okay? This is one of the ones that I want to try. It says, got slime on your clothes? Please follow the following steps. Right? Lotion would be easier. Yeah, easier. Take less time. They definitely had to have used Google Translate, Roxy, probably. But here's, okay, if you've got slime on your clothes, you ready to hear what they want you to do? Remove the slime from your clothes with your hands. That seems obvious. Sprinkle salt on the place where the slime was. Gently rub with your hands in the place sprinkled with salt. Soak the clothes in cold water for half an hour and follow normal steps for washing your clothes. We're gonna try it. Can you put your feet in here? You put your feet in here? Yeah, there you go. You better believe that I am gonna find a piece of cloth and I'm gonna try this because I think that's hilarious. Oh, for sure we should test it, right? Like I'll just get like an old, like, you know, like an old dish rag that we don't care about anymore or something. We will put slime on it and then we will salt it. I know you wanna go, you wanna eat and you wanna go to the farmer's market? Okay, should we talk about something first? Do you wanna tell them anything since you can talk so well? Let's sit, tell them a story. Go ahead, before we go, tell a story. You got 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to tell your story. Are you gonna tell your story or not? Now you're gonna be quiet? And then, okay. Okay, what else? Do you wanna tell them you learned to sit up? You can sit now? Yeah, you can. And what else can you do? Everything, because you're the smartest girl in the world. Oh, toots. Okay, we can toot. We're smartest and tootiest. What else? And the prettiest voice. That's right, you do have the best voice. Yes. And what else? Oh, yes. Do you want to sing a song? Can you say ah, ah, ah? Ah, 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 ah. She's going like this. Can you say ah, 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 ah? She thinks that's hilarious. If you could see her face right now, she's like, anyone else watching The Summer I Turned Pretty? No, I'm not. I didn't even hear about it. What is it? Go, ah. Yeah, Jen, I posted pictures of her sitting up on my Instagram. If you missed them, I'll repost them. It's on Amazon. Oh, what's it about? Can you say, ah, ah? Very good, very good. Okay, okay. Can you say, animal crackers in my soup? Monkeys and rabbits loop-de-loop. Oh gosh, oh gee, but I have fun swallowing animals one by one. Your turn, go ahead. Go ahead. It's your turn. You have to sing now. In every bowl of soup I see monkeys and tigers watching me. I stuff my tummy like a zoo with animal crackers in my soup.
Sometimes she does it back to you, like, I don't know, she's just enjoying her chewy right now, but sometimes she'll make the noises back at you when you sing. Yeah. Oh, that's your turn? Okay, see? There you go.
When I get hold of the big bad wolf, I will push him under the ground, and I'll swallow him in a million bits, and I'll gobble him right down. Very good. Okay. When they're inside me where it's dark, I walk around like Noah's Ark. I can't remember the last line. Why do I always forget the last line? We're doing a little bit of it with her, trying to get, but she's a little young. I'm doing it anyway. Oh my goodness, screamy pants. Why so screamy? 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 Anyway, yes, we are going to do it with her. But you know, you'd be surprised how quickly they pick up on the... Yeah, that's the one we started first, right? Oh, okay. We got to go. She wants to eat. But we did start with milk first. Yes, that's the first time we started. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.